So Confluence is great for engineering wikis, for keeping documentation up to date, the WYSIWYG editor, but sometimes in your code libraries, you're maintaining documentation as part of source control. So typically the way that would be done is using a tool called Sphinx. Sphinx allows you to write documentation in a format called restructured text or RST files. Sphinx then compiles those into HTML, and you can publish those on a web page, which is great. There's tools like readthedocs.org. The problem with readthedocs is that it doesn't support private repositories, it doesn't have any security features, and Confluence is really the bridge between those two things. So this module allows you to take an existing code library, anything that has restructured text, anything with a Sphinx project. This will basically mean any Python project, any open source Python project, or any project you want to maintain. Also, you can auto-generate restructured text files based off code, so it can scan code and generate module documentation. So all you need to do is edit the Sphinx documentation. You need to download this Sphinx contrib Confluence Builder module, and then add the extension to the list of extensions in conf.py. So we add Sphinx contrib.confluence builder to the list of extensions. Then there's a few configuration attributes. You can choose if you want to also publish to Confluence. So as well as just generating the Confluence wiki files, if you want to copy and paste those manually, you can. Alternatively, you can set this to Confluence publish, and then you can specify which Confluence space you want to publish the documentation to. And then within that space, you can also optionally give a page which is the parent. So if you have a page called auto-generated or a page called documentation, everything that gets generated will be put into there. Then the next thing to do is create a file called config.ini, which will be used to configure your Confluence server if you're publishing to Confluence. So here you give the URL for Confluence, just the base URL, the username, and the password. Once we've done that, we go back to Confluence and we create our root page. So we call that Science Logic. So we create a new page called Science Logic. This will be an empty page, and all our generated documentation will go underneath there. So now we can run the Sphinx build script. It will compile all the restructured text files, all the documentation that was in our project. It will establish what the title of the pages were, and it would create pages in Confluence to match each of those. So if we refresh our page, then we can see we now have a list of children. If we go into the installation page, you can see just general simple examples. We have formatted includes, we have bullet lists. We can have bullet lists with links inside, and also code snippets. So if ever you put code snippets, it will use the Confluence code macro. And also you can have links within lists as well.